Coming to you live from Dealey Plaza in downtown Dallas, Texas, I'm Mark Anderson. And as you see this report, the 50th, they're calling it, the city of Dallas is calling it the 50th, a commemoration of the life and legacy of John F. Kennedy is taking place. And the pomp and circumstance includes the mayor and a flyover by a military jet formation, and also songs, very touching songs, including the Battle Hymn of the Republic by the Navy Choir. All of that is taking place to adorn the 50th and this commemoration, and to remember who John F. Kennedy was and the ideas he left behind. And this is all very laudable, very commendable. He probably would have kept us out of the Vietnam War, and it's safe to say that John F. Kennedy, had he lived, had he stayed as our president, would have kept us out of at least most of the interventionist war that still plagues the United States and the West today. And many people agree with that. And the Dallas establishment here, which includes not only the city putting on the commemoration, but also those that run the sixth floor museum, the oft-repeated phrase is, we need to have a change. The city of Dallas used to be seen as this city of hate, this backward town that is somehow collectively blamed for removing Kennedy from office, to put it mildly. And they're saying we need to move on, quote, from assassination to commemoration. And few would argue with that sentiment. But beyond the pomp and circumstance to remember Kennedy, we have to remember that assassination to commemoration, while it's a laudable thing to say and a laudable thought, should not be converted into forgetting about pursuing the truth. And critics of the Dallas establishment, critics of the conventional story, don't want to see that happen. They don't want to see assassination to commemoration become a catchphrase for sweeping the pursuit of the truth under the rug. And that's what I'm hearing, that's what I'm seeing, having attended a program at the Sixth Floor Museum, which is the former school book depository where the accused assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, allegedly perched himself in the sixth floor window at the corner of the building and took aim and fatally killed our president, or so the conventional narrative goes. The critics of that conventional story are holding a number of programs. There's the JFK Lancer Group, there's the Committee on Political Assassinations, or COPA. There's many others, such as independent investigator Brian David Anderson and his interesting website, very compelling, mygodimhit.com. All of this together shows the wide range of theories and insights into what may have happened on November 22nd, 1963. And while I don't advocate or talk against any of them, I do believe, as an independent researcher and reporter, that they all offer compelling narratives that step outside the box in varying degrees to try and get at the truth of what really happened 50 years ago on this day. And a number of other things could be mentioned. There are loose ends, such as was a German Mauser found on the sixth floor of the museum and not an Italian carbine that was traced to Lee Harvey Oswald. And when I confronted the sixth floor museum curator, Gary Mack, about the question of a German Mauser having been found on the sixth floor right after the shooting, instead of the Italian carbine traced to Oswald, Gary Mack, although he says he's not the decider, the museum doesn't pretend to be the decider for the community and try and tell people what's right or wrong, nevertheless wrote off the German Mauser claim as nonsense. However, a speaker a little later that day, here during the 50th commemoration, Eugene Boone, a former police officer in Dallas, actually known for first seeing a rifle, the first person to see a rifle on the sixth floor. When I questioned him about it during this commemoration time, he leaned toward being a German Mauser, even to this day. And at the time that the Mauser was reportedly found, Roger Craig, the Dallas County Deputy Sheriff of the Year in 1960, and Seymour Weitzman, a fellow officer who signed an affidavit as having found a German Mauser, both of them at the time said it was a German Mauser, and the report had time to make it to Walter Cronkite, who reported it on the national news that the first rifle found was a German Mauser. So this is current and historical corroboration against the Sixth Floor Museum's basic narrative, saying that a German Mauser was in fact found and not the Italian Carcano rifle traced to Oswald for the Oswald did it alone narrative. So that's a very interesting thing, I think, to observe here to the German Mauser being one of the many loose ends in the overall unsolved mystery of the shooting of John F. Kennedy. Reporting for you for WHDT World News, I'm Mark Anderson.